All right, let's get talking. So this is addressing YouTuber MC Sham on the perception of blackness in the United States. I call this the bronze response. Okay, so in America, this Congolese gentleman, I found out he's Congolese. This is not an atypical skin tone for an African American man or woman to have. Generally, seeing someone like this, unless he's opened his mouth and we heard an accent, you would not uh, think of him as being African. We would think of him, oddly enough, as being uh, black. This sort of bronze complexion is what we see as just being a average black person. I guess that's roughly the equivalent color. Or even someone like him, who was also Congolese. This is these features, this complexion. This is what we see as just average. Any he's also yeah. Did I say he was Congolese? Yep, he's also Congolese. Um, you can of course be darker than this, but we don't count this, someone like this as being mixed. You have to have a parent such as this character, this guy. His name is Busy Bone. He's a rapper from the group Bone Thugs and Harmony. He has a mother. His mother is Italian. In America, he could be considered either black or mixed or simultaneously uh, mixed. People like this, they get the N-word pass. We don't get upset if he uses the N-word, and I know that from his music he does use it, but I'm not saying that myself that he is black. I'm just simply saying that this is how we see things. Another person who I believe has a white parent. It's another entertainer, another rapper, and I have no idea what her hair texture actually is because so many black women and even uh, mulatto women, women of African descent, don't wear their actual hair. Okay, so this individual Both of his parents are from Nigeria. I don't know if you can see his hair. Another sign that we take for granted that a person is black in the United States is based upon their hair texture. Skin color plays a role as well, but based upon his hair texture, his nose, the shape of his nostrils, his lips, he would just be taken as either a brown skinned black man, or some might say he was light skinned. Okay, so closing this, he may be a bit darker than the other guy I showed. Again, like I say, the bronze response. I think that this guy may be darker than I think you call them Carmelitos. Not sure. But if you reveal that you have two parents from Africa, and you don't have hair texture like we see here, you don't have hair texture like obviously like what we assume to be a mixed person. We just take it that you are black. You have broad features, a broad nose, tightly coiled hair. They call it type 4 hair. You're just taken as being black. We don't look at this and assume that he has admixture in the United States. Let's see. This is what this may not be relevant. There's an actress named Regina Hall. She's African American. Maybe African American would be a better term than black, if black has to be limited by a certain skin shade. But normally she doesn't wear her hair like this. But in America, she would be considered a black woman. We don't look at people this color and with these features as being anything other than black. Again, the bronze response. We know that he is black, or African, because we know because he revealed it to us. Some might say that he looks African. Now, we have. I'm pretty sure you may or may not have heard of them. I know that they have migrated to the UK from I think Jamaica. The ideology is sort of convoluted, but uh, you say it's an ideology that was brought to or influenced by West Indian or Caribbean immigrants to the United States. You have the Hebrew Israelite cult. Um, the likelihood of a person being berated or attacked on the streets for being what they call a Hamite. I can go off into those weeds, but uh, he is someone that they would attack as being a Hamite, whereas the other um, individuals I showed, ironically, I say, could pass for black in the American sense. She also, who is Senegalese, might stand out in a lot of the U.S. and would be assumed to be African and not black. As ironic as it is, while she is both black and African, once your skin reaches a certain shade, you start to fall out of what we think of as just to quote uh, the Nigerian American comedian Godfrey, regular black. So there's a certain subset of the African American population known as Gullah Geechee, where her looks are not uh, unusual. But then they test, even if you don't buy into genetic testing, they test higher on average for African ancestry than do African Americans in general. So again, someone like this couple, this is just, this, and it actually says fashion, style, and intriguing Igbo and couple with exceptional style. Igbos are amongst the African ethnic groups or tribes that are known to overlap with a lot of uh, African Americans. So too do the Congolese, and again, of course, there are and I know you show the pictures yourself. There are, of course, African Americans who are darker than them, but what we assume is a black person who is not mixed, and by mixed we mean we don't count. They don't by mixed we mean they don't have a completely non-African parent or even like grandparent. What happened during slavery, we don't generally count that, and especially if the person again has certain facial features and hair texture. We can't judge her hair texture because, like I say, women of African descent don't wear their natural hair in general. So you have to just look at the man and know that, of course, uh, hair texture is not dimorphic. and bronze. Although the event individuals we just saw are not this color, this color is sort of just, I don't know what to call it, but it's clearly darker than the caramel color, which is this. So this is caramel. Picture of yourself. Take a while for this to open. It's not that there are no individuals this dark as you are, because of course you found pictures, but um, I would say that I don't know if it's rare, but it's not the only. It's not the only complexion range that we consider as being dark, and if we, came across someone like you and they revealed to us that they were from the Caribbean or Africa, or he's trying to think of somebody, some other place. Well, let's see, a Caribbean or Africa, then we wouldn't be surprised, because there is a tendency towards people who are obviously, I guess, obviously African to be a bit darker than many African Americans. So this is Clara Anfo, who you said was like the limit as to how light a black woman could be. Of course, yes, we accept when you're have a chocolate complexion, a depressed nose bridge, plump lips, you have those features, then of course we identify you as being black. But we also would view this woman as being black. And she has the hair texture, broad nose, plump lips, the sweetness, and both of her parents are also Nigerian. Uh, 23andMe did an update, so now some people of African descent now show an ethnic uh, group. We can argue, of course, over the whether or not these numbers are accurate, but he got matched to Igbo, or it could have been another group, because people who self-report as Igbo, whose parents were from Nigeria, were tested, and his DNA shows some similarity enough for him to be assigned to that group. But again, bronze complexion, broad nose, plump lips. His beard is grim, not grim, groomed. So, but and his head is shaved. A lot of men of African descent also shave their heads. So it's another thing that you have to just sort of assume what their hair texture would be. For using that as a sign. Okay, so this is Quora, where somebody asked about Somalis looking different from other Africans. Let's see if I can find this image. Okay, so with Somalis, we now get into a nebulous territory, because in the United States, this girl would be socialized when she's out, out and about, to see herself as black. But Somalis see themselves as Somalis. Somalis see themselves as Africans, although there are Somalis who believe that they are Arab. Sort of a controversial thing amongst them. Somalis don't see themselves as being a mixed people, and genetic testing, again,